Greetings, Sarah. This is so exciting to chat with you.
I know, me too. I'm so excited. Yeah.
And you know what's more exciting, Sarah, is that you and I, between today, right, Sunday, which we've actually technically started before this, but today's our first official, exciting, public announcement of this event that we're going to be hosting in Toronto on January 27th. And the title of the event is
Oh my God.
Creating Virality to Help Our Businesses Grow.
Yeah.
So tell me, for you, Sarah, what is this? What does that whole title mean to you?
Well, there's such an untapped potential of being able to leverage the social platforms that are out there, and yet often as entrepreneurs we undervalue them because they're free, because our kids are on them, or we think, oh, it's just a lot of work. But I know, I'm sure for you, same thing. I've gotten so much business from being able to leverage the exponential benefits of being in that viral space. And I just really hope that entrepreneurs live into that potential too. What about
100%. And actually, if you think about it, the reason you and I are working together, even though we met once or a handful of times at the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers event, really what lived on, because we live in two different cities, I live in the US, you live in Canada, what really kept us together was and I credit you on this, is your quote unquote virality on social media that kept your name at the top of my mind. So when I knew I had this event coming up in Toronto, I said the first person I thought about was, hey, who's viral, who lives virality, from a day-to-day perspective, and who can help people from a business perspective live that dream and make that reality. And it was your name that came to top of mind, right?
Well, thank you. That's like an awesome compliment. But it's funny because other folks have mentioned that too. And to me, it's a way of being. It's a way of living.
Right.
And my mom jokes like, "Oh, here we go. Here's your extroversion. You've just now got another platform to be an extrovert." But it's not about that. It's about, I just want to share what the cool things that are going on in my business, in my life. And as soon as I see something that I think would help somebody, I just put it out there, right? We don't have to overcomplicate this and have, a challenging plan. And I think it's really great when people are super organized in this.
Right.
And you don't have to have a whole plan. You don't have to have studied 18 books on, how to be viral and all of that. You just start, and it just is authentic.
And in fact, the beauty is the most viral videos, the most viral products, and the most viral people out there don't really have a science behind it. Yeah. Yes, there are certain things that we can do as entrepreneurs to make sure that we're designing our products and becoming more viral, but it's usually the unplanned home video where somebody does something cool or something just out of the norm, right, outside of talking about their product or their service, that just engages people, and before you know it, it explodes. And actually, we're right on the topic where, I look at my business, Sarah. And for me, virality, right, I started my business, I was a startup in 2006.
Yep.
And right up from 2006 till 2009, I struggled with the whole marketing. All right, I got this business off the ground. We're doing okay, ad sales, but things were okay. I was really hustling on the phone. They call it schlepping on the phone, making sales phone calls, hoping to grow my business, right? And with really no clarity on what I'm doing, right? I did the whole SEO thing, I did the whole website thing, all that stuff, marketing,
all the things you're told, check that box, check that box.
Yeah, and it was all an outflow of money. It was all this income going out, paying these vendors to do different things for me. And then in 2009, there was a significant change in the market that helped my business just explode. And it's a property management business, right? Helped that business explode. And business was good right through from that point, but their greatest growth years was 2009 to 2012, right? So me being the engineer that I am, right, of course I enjoyed that growth period, and it sustained right through till now. But right around 2012, I looked back at the business and I said, all right, what did I do differently in 2009, between 2009 to 2012, that literally tripled my business, right?
And I want to know. You're going to tell me.
I am, and it's going to be a full-scale disclosure, right? But essentially, without getting into too much detail, it was virality. There was elements of virality in my business. So there was not direct mail. There was not, getting on social media at 2 p.m. to release this article because because my social media expert said this is when you should release your. It was none of that. It was virality. There was hooks of virality within my business that just automatically, without me knowing it, ended up happening between that period of time. So what I've done is documented that and said, imagine if I could show people, right, with your assistance, the two of us can combine and show that to people, to entrepreneurs that are either starting their business or are already in business but want to accelerate themselves into greatness, into greater sales, into greater virality, into greater appreciation and awareness within their market space, without having to suffer through 3 years like I did of trying all these things that don't work.
Yeah.
That's essentially what our event is going to be.
Well, and I'm excited to be part of the event because I know I can take, just like you're doing, the thinking process about what has allowed me in 2 years to go from 0 to 6 figures. Like what are some of those things? And I love hearing that feedback from people about, such as this conversation, about some of the things that are the hooks for them. And I also can be more strategic. So I know I'm going to, even though I'm speaking at the event, I know I'm also going to learn a lot from the people who are showing up, because there's rock stars who are being invited to this event. From hearing from you, from learning from Joey, who's our host for this event, and she's winning an award for the incredible work that she does in the space, coming all the way to Canada from Sri Lanka. I mean, like, hello, like, I'm so excited to be here finally in person. And at the same time, what I'm hoping to bring to folks is, how do you authentically communicate who you are? That's because there's nothing wrong and nothing broken about who you are, what you're doing, your services. You don't have to have big fixes or, as you say, those huge accounts, these huge budgets to be able to launch. Like, I have terrible SEO. I gotta tell you, I just try to get out there in media all the time. I try to, support people, share their stuff. People share my stuff. So, like, I shouldn't say it's terrible, but like, the very first thing, if you look for me, is not my own website. It's my LinkedIn profile. It's other people who've done the work for me to have good SEO.
Right.
One of the things that I'm hoping people get from the talk that I'm going to be delivering is, what is your unique greatness? Because people want that.
Right.
They can sniff out fake. They can sniff out forced. If you're authentic, you're brilliant, and you don't have to change that. Like, everything that you are is perfect, exactly what you need to be have super viral, draw, shall I say.
There's working on your craft. I mean, there's so many people that get involved in or focused on the business cards, the website, how do I look, and forget the craft. And I see you're a testament to someone who works on your craft.
Yeah.
But forget all that. Forget the SEO. You know what? I'm good. Put me in the face of a client and let me, give me the ability to work with a client, and you'll see the true results.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you see is what you get. Like, that's the other thing that I hope people get from our, contribution to this too, is, Joey and her, I have such awe, love it when women get like rockstar entrepreneurship awards, right? Because, like, yeah. And I know you're total supportive women too. So you're like, yeah, too.
Of course, 100%.
And imagine how hard her job is in helping people put together a really great marketing campaign and being able to optimize their social media if they're flat, if they don't know who they serve, if they don't know what they do, if they change their mind every 6 months about what business they're in or who their clients are. That's the other thing I think about really being able to go viral, is that the same people are following you. In fact, more of the same people, and that they want more of what you have to offer. So, I think this is going to be a great day, especially since what you're planning is you're helping people, you're matching people. Right. So people leave with more folks who can support them in their business to grow.
Right. So maybe now's a great time to talk about what the event is going to at a really high level. So this is our first, actually, interestingly, it's a Sunday. And you and I had called, we hadn't planned on doing this video. We told each other to strategize about the event and talk about venue and all that. And Sarah had this bright idea of saying, you know what, Francis, Yes, it's important. The venue is important. This is important. All these little logistics are important, but they will all come together. So I credit you for giving me the confidence that those things will come together, because they will.
Well, they will, because they have to, but
They
that's
have to.
not why people are going to show up. Like, well, what time's the coffee coming? That's going to be my decision maker, right? Like, it's like details. But the thing is, too, we're just so excited about this event. We didn't want to wait until we had planned to do the first video. So
Sarah said, let's just get out there and do it. Let's start sharing with people how exciting this is. So let's go through some very high level stuff. The event is creating virality in your business. This is happening January 27th, 2018 in Toronto. So for all of you entrepreneurs listening to this, if you've had a business idea in your head for 10, 15 years and have not done anything about it, it's January 2018. Make 2018 a year of impact where you actually do something.
yeah.
If you're already a business and you're struggling, kind of like my story where I struggled for three to 5 years trying to figure out what it is that I'm going to do to create growth in my business, sales in my business, more confidence as a person out there in the quote unquote, business world. This is your event, because we're going to show you about virality, how to be real. And it's a full disclosure event. It is a non-sales event. There's not going to be books in the back. There's not going to be products in the back. There's not going to be, hey, we'll give you an inch of information and we're going to charge you, a ton for the rest. None of that. It's a full disclosure. It's a full scale information and skill-based event.
It's about being in service of each other as entrepreneurs. Right. Because we're sharing things that people have helped us with, right? So, and we're designing, or you're designing an event, and I'm fortunate enough to be part of it, of the type of event you would want to go to. Hence, it's not salesy. Hence, it's not, I'm going to invite you here so that there could be this huge sell later. I totally appreciate that, you standing in that space of integrity. So
at the high level, it's Toronto, Saturday, January 27th. It's a 3-hour event, and here's the flow, 3 to 4 hour event. And we're going to work all those little logistics as we go, and information is going to be rolled out soon. It's an hour keynote by me. It's an hour keynote with Sarah, and then it's 2 hours of matched networking. So how that works is we're going to have your profiles prior to you attending the event. We're going to have those profiles matched, so you get to meet the 5 people that will impact your business moving forward. You get an opportunity to network with those people. Yeah. Here's the true beauty in the event, Sarah, and I'm so glad that you came up with this idea, is that it's not transactional. It's not an event where you come in, we feed you a bunch of information and you leave and we leave, and it's this is a little ecosystem that we're creating where if you want, this investment is actually going to carry you through the entire year of 2018 to make sure that you are actually making those progressive steps. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have a series of events. Again, we're going to roll those out because we're not prepared to share with you yet, but we're going to roll out a monthly call or webinar throughout the year sharing exactly what we're going to be doing as a group. But it's an ecosystem, it's a family that you're investing in, and you're going to be with us together for that year, and we're going to grow together. And we're going to check in with folks at the event. Like, we're thinking maybe it's like monthly, but other people may say, I'm so in action, I want it to be weekly. And so, we want to hear from you at the event how we can best serve you to support the gains, the action steps that you're going to be walking away with, and to really fuel up those networks of people, that those 5 folks that you're going to be connected with as well. And obviously, we know lots of great stuff. I mean, we just had one face-to-face meeting, you and I, Francis, right? And like, here we are doing this event together. I think it's probably almost 2 years later. So, we have full faith that what happened with us is going to happen with the other folks, is that, you're going to meet somebody who's so cool. You just can't wait to, be able to do some business or connect or figure out further ways in which you can support each other. And for the gain of the whole group, we're going to be supporting people to figure out what are some of the things that you still would like some deeper dive support on, so that you can keep bringing this into your business and also into your life. Because here's one of the things I believe, and I do not profess to be a social media expert, just a total lover of social media. Right. And that is,
when it's in your life, in your purview, you know, when your phone, that, don't tell me you don't keep it attached to your hip, right? Because I know you do. When it just becomes part of how you communicate with the world, then it's like, I just noticed something. That's really cool. You know, the person who gave you great service, or the post that somebody just sent you, the something heartfelt that you just thought that you want to put out there in the world, like that's being real. And I think that we're coming into an age in social media where people want real now. The 10 steps to this and 8 steps to that, people are starting to wane on that, the desirability of that. The everything on Facebook looking great. You know, I just posted something yesterday on, you know, don't you like something about like, I be so mad at your kids 1 minute, your head's gonna explode, and the next minute you just, or the next hour you see them do like something so incredible, their talent just like bursting forth that your heart is bursting too. And I was just waiting for the people to go, oh God, you're a terrible person. I was just waiting for it, but I'm like, no, this year, 2018, I'm going to be more real on social media. Right?
You know,
right?
Yeah,
and so many people are like, yes, that's exactly how I feel too. Like
because it's an introspective into their lives, because that's what happens in reality.
Right. Yes. So being real in Facebook, like I'm going to put out there, here's my thing. Like as much as there's been lots of success through being the virality, right, of the many platforms that I'm on, because that's my target market's on many platforms. But I'm also going to share with you, I'm going to be vulnerable with all of you. If you haven't met me yet, most of you, is I'm also going to be more real. So I've been pretty real. I'm going to be stepping up the authenticity meter too in 2018. And I bet you any money, people are going to relate to that even more than the Sarah, very professional, very put together, bit real.
It's kind of behind the scenes of what really makes Sarah tick, what really your challenge. I mean, you know, as great as we all want to be, there's challenges that we face. I have challenges in my business.
Yeah.
I have challenges in, you know, the same challenges that everyone has to grow, the same challenges that we have on sales, the revenue. Everyone has the same set of issues, right? And if you can relate to them, and if we can relate to them as a group and share them and say, hey, here's the challenge that I faced, and here's what I did, and I've documented this. I don't claim to be an expert because I'm still learning.
Yes.
Right? This person out there, but I will tell you this. I'm going to share the 5, I mean, there's a science to it too. There is a science to virality. And sometimes it's just an awareness of sharing that with people. Yeah. And one of the clear things, I mean, on my keynote, I am going to get so detailed into the 5 steps or the 5 key elements of what virality is. And if you can incorporate those, you know what it's going to do? Honestly, for your business, what it's going to do, it's going to be an accelerator to say, you know what, let me not struggle through 3 years of what Francis did wrong. And I don't mean wrong, but I meant ineffectively. Maybe.
Right.
Where it's the flyers and the this and all the things that you think are the right things to do because everyone said these are the right things to do. And then you step back and you go, well, actually, it wasn't. And you know what? One of them is just being real and connecting with people and not just doing this big blast out thing without any relationship. And trust, the establishment of trust. It comes down to something. Sometimes it's some of the basic elements of business that we've got to re-engage. So I'm going to really get into the details of those 5, you know, what I call viral hooks.
Mm-hmm. And I bet you any money people are going to start to make connections about if there's reasons why you left your full-time job, or if you're an intrapreneur and you're even thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, but you're going to notice there's a lot of those commonalities. Because when you said the word trust, it really resonated for me, because that is the number 1 variables that Great Place to Work Institute, which is, you know, worldwide, sort of like the Cadillac gold standard of evaluation about what truly a great place to work is. Number 1 factor is trust.
Trust.
And if you said to somebody, how do I build trust? Right? You know, maybe be honest, but how can you do that in corporate world? And how can you be yourself if you're selling, if you're in entrepreneurship? So I think one of the things that I'm going to really love to dig into and learn a lot from you, Francis,
is how do you establish that?
Exactly.
And again, there's a science to it, right? And the science to it is not what, you know, and no disrespect to, you know, used car salesmen, right? But to the industry, like when someone says, trust me when I say this, That's really not trust. That's
Yeah.
not the establishment of trust. That's a statement that has no value beyond that. There's a key way to establish trust, and there's a key element to trust, and a lot of it is time. You've got to be aware of that, so that as a business person, that's what I've got to focus on.
Yeah.
So,
Sarah, I'm so glad that you were willing. Yeah, sure. I mean, your hair's not done, my hair's not done. But
I know it's Sunday, and it's Sunday morning, and I'm like, really? You want to do this video now? All right, let's do it.
Okay, when you're excited about something, just do it, right?
Yeah. That's one aspect of virality, right? Is just do it. Just get out there and do it. So there's going to be a series of more information about the event as things come together, like venue, timing, who else is going to be speaking. We do have some of the speakers already lined up, but for the most part, essentially it's a keynote by me, a keynote by Sarah, and really the value of that matched networking. It's January 27th again, which is a Saturday. Timing, venue, all to be shared shortly.
GTA area.
What's that?
GTA area.
GTA area.
Yeah.
As far as more information or wanting more information between now and then, get a hold of me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Sarah, same. Anyone can get a hold of you, and you guys know how to find us. And we'll share info as it flows out, but there'll definitely be more clarity on that.
And one of the things that we feel really strongly about, because this is what we do in our social media, is that we invite people to have a conversation. So please, if there are certain things that you would love for us to start a conversation about or be part of that, then ask us. If you have a question, will you be covering this, or could you cover this, or before I don't want to wait until till your event. Could you do a live? Let us know, because we're here to serve, right?
Exactly. We're in the formative stages of the event, so 100%.
Yeah, for sure. So put in the comments. This is putting in comments.
There you go.
The international language for. Show me, Francis. Can you put in comments? Show me.
Here you go.
Exactly. All right. Awesome, everyone. Thank you so much, Francis, for being willing to do this wacky thing here on a Saturday. And
of course. Vulnerability. We put ourselves out there. Thank you, Sarah, for the idea. So we will stay connected, you and I, and formulate this, and I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, me too. I'm so pumped about this event.
Awesome.
All right. Talk to you, everyone, soon.
Take care.